What's going on, guys, and welcome back to your Stanley Cup champion. Yeah, just say that one more time. Stanley Cup champion, Japan GM mode, baby. It took us 9 long years, but 2025 was the magical year, almost 10 years into this bad boy, and we can now officially call ourselves Stanley Cup champions. Now, there was a lot of debate on whether we should go out on top or we should try to repeat, and I think I'm going to continue this for a decent amount of time. I'm actually going to copy another YouTuber who is named Togi24, I believe his name is. Yeah, it's Togi24. I just double checked. I didn't want to get his name wrong, but his link will be in the description. He's one of the better GM mode guys out there. He goes and he rocks 2 GM modes. He does like a Swedish one and like a Detroit one, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, go check that out. I'm going to try that out. I'm going to try doing 2 GM modes at once. Obviously, they're going to be extremely separate. But this one is obviously going to stay as Japan. A few reasons why I want to keep it. Obviously, this is a fun GM mode. I'm having fun. We're starting to reboot this thing. As well, Jaden Marco. Now, a lot of you guys love the fact that he used that Titan stick. Go back into the last video. It does show him rocking a wood Titan stick. This guy says, Marco's, it is a beauty using that Titan stick. I agree with you. That guy's awesome. But what we are going to do is we are going to continue this, and we're also going to rock a Legend GM mode. Now, I've done this in the past. I'm not gonna tell you too much on it because you're gonna have to wait for the video later this week, but we are starting up another Legends GM mode. It's gonna be way better than any other Legend GM mode I've ever done. Double the Legends, gonna be a few more twists. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's taken me a while to create all of these players. But regardless, we're here with Japan. We're about to start the draft and get this thing going. So this is the year 9 draft. Maybe there'll be another franchise player out there. We'll see. Looks like the Islanders, the Predators, and the Wings have the top picks. Where's Vancouver? Okay, so they're still in the bottom-ish. That's nice to see, because if the Vancouver Canucks would have won the cup before us, I would have not been a happy GM at all. So I believe we have a first-round pick. No, maybe we don't. No, we don't, actually. I know we have a second, though, or maybe not. Maybe a third. It's taken a long time to sim. So I know we traded away a bunch of picks to go on this cup run. So I'm a little bit scared that we're not going to be able to keep everyone due to cap reasons. So yeah, you can see here we do have a second round pick, 30th overall. A grinder went first overall. You don't see that very often. Medium elite grinder, Lombardi, defensive defenseman. No, I guess kind of a weak draft. Low elite right there, medium top 9, low elite. Yeah, so only one medium elite there I saw with Calgary, medium elite, and then the top 2 were medium elites. So 3 medium elites there. It's not fantastic. It's really not great. But what I want to do here is probably go after a goaltender. We'll see if there is one available. I think a goalie is next on our needs. 3rd round. Listed in the 3rd round. But you know what? It's pretty much a 3rd round pick anyways. It's the last in the 2nd round. I think it's either between this Armston guy or Curry. Preston Curry, 6 feet tall. He's a hybrid. He's listed as an AHL starter or a medium backup in Derek Armsden. Yeah, I'm going to go with Derek Armsden there. Hopefully he's decent enough. A 2nd round pick. Getting another goaltender there. I know Oleg's a beast. I know he can handle it now, but we need to get something going on in our AHL team. He's low elite. That's pretty good. I will take that 2nd round pick, low elite. That's really nice. I am pretty happy about that. Medium top 6. See if we have a 3rd round pick. I really hope we do, because we do not have many picks in this draft. But going into year number 10, I really want to repeat. I really want to go back to back. I'd love to do that. After 10 years of struggling, I would love to go back to back. But I think it's going to be kind of fun to do 2 GM modes. It's definitely going to be a challenge, but I think it's going to be enjoyable. That's for sure. Let's go with a defenseman. Let's go with any exacts. What do we got here? High bottom 6. Any exacts we got? AHL, all this AHL stuff. No one really that great. Exact 7th defenseman, Klingberg. Sure, let's pick him. Maybe he'll be a gem. Maybe he'll be a big old steal. K. Klingberg. Maybe he's a distant cousin of John Klingberg. Let's see what he turned out to be. Maybe another 5th round steal. What did he? He's a low 7th defenseman. Probably not going to be anything. But let's go ahead and sim the entire draft. Get to the re-sign stage. I'll probably skip over that. We'll go over the top 5 picks. And then I'll see you guys probably at the free agency period. They're probably going to sim to the start start of next year and probably get a few months of simulation done. All right, so we got to re-sign a few players here. We got to re-sign Nick Leddy, Strome, McIntyre, Esposito, and Brady Shea. We only have $21 million to do it. I know Nick Leddy's going to want a lot of money, so I'd like to probably sign him and then trade him for someone cheaper, maybe like an 85 overall guy who's making 3 or 4 million, as opposed to the 5. Okay, 5.5 is not terrible, but for 4 years, I'm not really about that. So I'm going to give him what he wants. I'm probably going to get a little bit lower, but I'm probably going to sign and trade Nick Leddy. But that's everyone we have to re-sign. Is there any goalies? Do we have to sign Oleg? I think Oleg's locked up long term. He is locked up long term. So we'll have a look at our selections from this year unsigned, and then we'll see about the top 5. So anyone I remember here, Klingberg is 62 overall, and we didn't select anyone else aside from that goaltender. And how's he looking? 64 overall, low elite. So I haven't really tested any low elite goaltenders before. Maybe he'll be good. Second round pick, 60th overall. That doesn't sound too bad. Okay, so let's have a look here at the top 5 picks. If I remember correctly, it was the New York Islanders who took that Grinder first overall, which is kind of strange, but we'll see what he's looking like. He is 76 overall. That's not bad for a Grinder. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever even seen a Grinder go first overall, so that's kind of cool. Medium elite center Grinder, probably needs a year in the AHL, but his skating is ridiculous. Moving over to Nashville, they took a guy, he was a defenseman, I believe, Lombardi, 69 overall, medium elite as well. And then the Detroit Red Wings took, I don't know who it is, a goalie. His name was, let me check here, started with a K. This guy, a high top 9, so that's not bad. I remember when we drafted McIntyre, he was a high top 6, so that was a pretty good pick. I think we drafted him like 15th overall or something. I think it was later in the first round, so that was a great pick for us. Columbus, they drafted a guy, St. Louis. He is a high top 9, 67 overall. And then last but not least, the New Jersey Devils took Dingman. He is a high top 9, 66 overall. So definitely a weaker draft, but we're going to go ahead here and get the re-sign stage done, and then we are going to hop into free agency, maybe sign a couple of players, and then we're going to hop into year number 10. All right, so everybody is now re-signed. I think we got everyone. Look at McIntyre, though. He's up to an 87, so he pretty much solidified himself as a top 6 player for us. Now we may have to make a move because Gunnarsson and McIntyre, they're kind of battling for the same spot. So you could see Patrick Laine be gone. We'll have to see what's happening with the lines here. But 87 overall for Marty McIntyre. The guy's only 21 years old. Remember that. Esposito's back. Nick Leddy's back. Brady Shea said no. That kind of sucks. Roy Ryder, Anthony Stolarz also said no. Our backup goalie. Dylan Strome's back for $5 million. Braden Lemieux said no. So I kind of had to lowball some people because our cap situation isn't really that great. We don't have a whole lot of money to work with. $4 million. I think we have to probably make a few cuts. Let's go here to all expiring here. So on the chopping block, we kind of have a few players. Brady Shea, who wants what? He wants like 2.7. Now that's a lot of money for an 82 overall defenseman. He is a Stanley Cup champion. He had a decent year for us. I don't even know what he did during the postseason, but 7 points. He was a +6. Didn't hurt the team at all. 1 goal in 20 playoff games. Definitely easily replaceable. Braden Lemieux, on the other hand, is another decent player. He had 15 goals, 21 points in the regular season, and 4 during the postseason. You know what? I think I'd rather have Braden Lemieux, so I'm going to go ahead and offer him $2.25 million for 2 years, and we're probably going to pass on Brady Shea, unfortunately. I do have to sign all these rookie guys for our AHL team just to strengthen them up a little bit. I do want to start focusing on the AHL team a little bit more because once the playoffs hit, if we have a brutal injury or we have an injury that happens for a long time, I kind of want to be prepared, and I haven't been for the last few years. So I got to go ahead and get all my stuff in order here regarding our AHL team, and then we're probably going to hop into the postseason. Let's see if Braden Lemieux signs, and I think we're probably going to have to trade Nick Leddy. With that cap, we can try and sign another defenseman as well as trade for another defenseman. So we're going to have to work the phones a little bit, but let's see if Braden Lemieux does decide to sign. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to let Brady Shea walk. Ryan McLeod, Cam Dineen, Braden Lemieux still said no. I'm not too happy being on this team anymore. I think it may be time to go our separate ways. Wow. Okay, Braden Lemieux, I'm not going to force you to play for us. You know, if you want to go elsewhere, by all means, you know what? It's 100% up to you, buddy. I'm sorry you don't want to be a part of this Stanley Cup winning team. That's your choice, buddy. I'm okay with letting you go, so we're going to release you to free agency. And actually, nobody was upset, so maybe he was somewhat of a cancer in the locker room. But we have $3 million to spend. I don't really think it's wise for us to sign Brady Shea. We're going to have to wait here. I don't really want to give Tyler Benson a one-way deal at 79 overall, 27 years old, strictly for the AHL team. Hopefully these guys sign, and we're going to hop into the free agency period. Let's go. So we lost out on Brady Shea. We also lost out on Anthony Stolarz. Now, I'm going to have a look here for another backup goalie. I think we have to get someone aside from Anthony Stolarz because we didn't have enough money. Oh my God, Morgan Riley is in free agency. So is Derek Stepan, but he wants $10 million for a 35-year-old. Buddy, you are out to lunch. What are you talking about? Morgan Riley, see, that's a good deal. 91 overall. He wants $8.3 million, but this guy's a beast. Let's have a look at his stats, actually. Yeah, 60-point defenseman for the last, 10 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. That is a steal. I'd pay that guy $9 million. A couple of 20-goal seasons. Wow. He'd be nice to have, but honestly, that's way, way out of our price range. There's a lot of good free agents out there, but what we have to check for is we have to look for a defenseman to cover for Brady Shea. Now, a player like Oscar Clefbaum wouldn't be that bad. Brady Shea's right there. Maybe upgrading Brady Shea would be okay, but $5 million is a lot to spend. He wants 3.3. Jack Daughtry is out there. Maybe we'll have to work the phones a little bit, have to make some trades. But as for goaltenders, I want to find a decent backup goalie, and then we're going to go and then we're going to look at all of the prospects and see if there is any players we can get for our AHL team. So actually, it looks like Anthony Stolarz. Oh wait, he wants less money now than he did before. That's weird. Okay, you know what? I'll give you $2 million for 2 years. How does that sound? And then we only have $900,000 to work with, but that means I can go ahead and trade. Nick Leddy because he is going to steadily decrease here. We may be taking a hit by trading a player like Nick Leddy, but we also have to think about trading a player like Patrick Laine as well, because our forwards are looking like this. Our first line, Marco McKinnon, Laine. Our second line going to be McIntyre, Pierlini, and Strome. Our third line going to be Esposito, Gunnarsson, and Fukafuji, maybe? We could bring Fukafuji up. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Don't really want to have Gunnarsson on the third line, but McIntyre is young and he looks like this is going to be his breakout year, so maybe we'll play Gunnarsson on the third line. He's good to have alongside Esposito as well. So maybe it won't be that bad. I mean, Laine did have 75 points last year, 14 points in the postseason. I don't see why you would get rid of him. So let's focus on our main objective, and that is trading Nick Leddy. So he's 34 years old, got really good trade value, so I think it's time to cash in on a player like this. Let's see who wants him. $5 million is a lot to pay, but Colorado wants him. So I'll have a look here and see what moves I can make, and then I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, so I have a trade here in place for Ben Hutton and this Raymond guy. So I'm going to talk about Ben Hutton here first. He's going to be playing alongside a D'Angelo, who is a very offensively minded defenseman. So I think if we get a well-rounded guy like Ben Hutton, who's got good offensive awareness, good defensive awareness, his physical category isn't great, everything's just okay, you know, he's a good defenseman there, 32 years old, 85 overall. He's not going to put up the points that Nick Leddy got, but 25 points is not that bad. Plus he's going to be playing alongside an offensively minded guy. So, you know what, I think Ben Hutton is going to be a good acquisition for us, and we get Nick Leddy off the books. It's not really a whole lot of difference cap-wise, but it is a couple $100,000 anyways. Plus we're getting younger, and Colorado is somewhat of a rebuilding team. They have not been good for a few years. And Blake Raymond, who is a 19-year-old power forward, 6'3", 202 pounds. He's a big American kid. I really want this kid. I like the power forward, especially guys who are high overall and still pretty young. 19 years old is still really young for a player like this. So we're going to go ahead and give up this Reek guy, Lou Reach, I believe his name is. We're going to go ahead and give him up. He is a 21-year-old medium top 9, a second-round pick, and we're going to throw in a third. So will this go through without the third-round pick? We'll try that. The trade values look relatively even. Will this trade go through? Trade accepted. Perfect. It went through without that third-round pick. There's not too much to deliberate about this deal. I think Colorado fans would think we came out ahead here. That's perfect. Sorry, I know we have to trade Nick Leddy. We downgraded our defense a little bit. We saved a bit of money, really not that much, only $300,000, but still, at the end of the day, I think it makes us a better team. Plus, we get a nice prospect there. He'll probably play in the AHL, 74 overall, 19 years old. That's really, really nice. And Anthony Stolarz is now back on our team. So that makes our goaltending better. Our defense is a little bit worse, but I'm hoping that Olin gets a lot better for next year. I'm going to go ahead and see if there's any skaters in the free agency pool that we could snag up. Maybe some sort of rookie or some guy who's young and has a decent amount of potential. Younger guys, though. Rasmussen's 81 overall. I don't really want that. I want younger guys. I want 23, 24, 24 years old, low top 9. Low top 6. That's not great. I'm sure some of these guys could help out our team. Maybe I'll give a few players some contracts. Medium top 4, 26. I'm kind of only interested in like 23, 24. So I'm going to go ahead and sign some players, and then I will see you guys at the start of the year. All right, here we are, the start to a new year. Hopefully we don't have that Stanley Cup hangover. I don't think we're going to get any simulation done. If we do, it'll be 2 or 3 games. Maybe we'll do 5 games just to get it underway, just to get some games under our belt before I end off this longer episode. But 96 offense, 90 defense, 89 goaltending. Now, Marty McIntyre did go down to an 86, but I'm hoping that he jumps right back up. So you can see here the lines are pretty much the same. Jaden Marco up to a 93 overall. Now, I am really hoping this line lights it up this year. There's no reason for them not to, really. It's going to be one of the most dominant lines out there. We got McIntyre, Strome, Pierlini. They all played great last year. Strome had like 42 or 43 goals last year. Yeah, 42 goals. I don't know where that came from. We got Esposito, Zach Sanford, and Gunnarsson, which is not that bad. Philip Zadna, Casey Cizikas, and Russ Fukafuji, who was the guy that we traded for in the trade. Who did we send? We sent Noah Hannafin. Right, we sent Noah Hannafin to the Ottawa Senators in exchange for Russ Fukafuji, the half Japanese, half Canadian center playmaker, 6'2", 195. We got some Japanese blood here in Team Japan. That's always nice to see. Defensively looking like this: Oland, Liljegren, D'Angelo, Hutton, Kurvinen, and also signed this guy in free agency because we had Cam Dineen, who was our 7th defenseman. So that's looking like that. Our goaltender is 87 overall, Oleg Trasambiev, and we actually got Stolarz back, which was nice. Here's what the AHL squad looks like. I went ahead and I signed Kristen Vasalainen. He was a 4th overall pick by the Vancouver Canucks in 2017. Didn't turn out to be anything, unfortunately. I signed him mostly for the AHL team, but also for the playoffs if I have to bring a player up. This guy was another player that I signed. I signed this Reed guy, so just strengthening up the team a little bit. And there's the Raymond guy who I actually traded for from Colorado. So I'm probably going to give him a lot of ice. We'll go ahead and throw him there. Blake Raymond. Defensively, nothing that special. And in the cage, we have a guy that I signed. Dominic Corpen was a guy that was in free agency, and we also got Flynn, who was a 2nd round draft pick a few years ago. So actually, let's go ahead and get a few games done here. Maybe we'll go 5 games in. All right, we'll just go 5 games. Start this season off. In the next episode, we'll start it off again. We will end off against the Vancouver Canucks. So let's start game number 1 off with a slow sim against the LA Kings, and then we'll slow sim our last game. So it looks like they're 1-1. We get a late late start Saturday night, hockey night in Japan. Let's go. First period, 1-0 Nathan McKinnon. Period number 2, Rome gets 1. Toskala and Toffoli get goals for them. We beat LA in the postseason last year, so they're looking for their revenge. Oh, we're going into overtime here. Casey Suzuki scored. Going into overtime, and Tanner Pearson. Drop game 1 against LA. Tanner Pearson with the overtime winner. They get their revenge. Obviously, we kicked them out 2 years straight in the postseason. We get some victories. There you go. 2-1 over the Blue Jackets. The Hawks are 3-1, and we lose in overtime. So we're 1-1-1. There you go. 2-1-1. Let's make it 3-1-1 against our rivals, the Vancouver Canucks. Let's go here. Let's go ahead and slow sim this game, and then we're going to end it off. Actually, I want to show the awards as well. I forgot to do that last year. So let's go. First period up against Vancouver, 2-1. Lyndon Vey, the Vancouver Canucks legend, he signed with Vancouver again. Strome gets a big goal, and Krause gets one for them. Period number 2. All right, 4-2. They double up on us. McKinnon gets another one. They beat us 5-2. Ouch. Not a great start, unfortunately. We end up being 2-2-1 throughout the first 5 games. It's not great, but you know what? Only the first 5 games. Not going to freak out about it too much. Everyone is actually tied for 5 points. That's kind of funny. Strome's got 6 points in 5 games. He is leading the team. I'm not going to go check out the individual stats, but here is the awards from last year. President's Trophy went to the Ducks. We got the Stanley Cup, obviously, and then obviously we beat out the Rangers in the Stanley Cup final. Let's see if we took home any individual awards. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, sorry, Conn Smythe went to Oleg, but aside from that, yeah, unfortunately we didn't take any hardware home. That sucks, but you know what? We got the one that matters in the Conn Smythe. Stanley Cup champions, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So thanks for watching, guys. I had to make a few trades and get things started for the next year. So I'll see you guys next time when we start the year 10 simulation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys then.